Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will get an update from the folks at the Quincy Animal Shelter, including one of their four-legged friends. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, we've got some ocean effect snow flurries flying around. It's 30 degrees right now. The flurries will continue off and on throughout the day today. They shouldn't add up to much, and it won't get much warmer than it is right now with highs in the lower 30s. The clouds this evening, lows drop to the lower 20s, and a very wintry weekend coming up starting tomorrow with some snow. Going to snow pretty much all day off and on. Could see a couple, 3, maybe 4 inches of accumulation by tomorrow night. It will be windy as well. Highs tomorrow only in the upper 20s, and then the bottom drops out on Saturday night with an Arctic chill blowing in, temperatures down in the single digits, wind chills below zero, and we don't recover much on Super Bowl Sunday with that Arctic chill continuing. We will have sunshine on Sunday. Temperatures only in the teens, wind chills below zero. Back to the single digits Sunday night. Lots of sunshine here on Monday and a little warmer with highs Monday in the mid to upper 20s. Looks rather unsettled again next week as well. Again, we have flurries and 30 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council will be considering whether or not to repeal the pay raises that were approved for the mayor and city councilors by the former city council. The city councilors this week did vote to place both of those proposals from Ward 5 Councilor Maggie McKee into the Ordinance Committee for further review. Councilor at Large Noel DeBona had objected to the proposals at the last council meeting, stopping any action on them, but he said the ordinances were clarified with more information this time.
The reason why the objections came out was their interpretation of basically having a situation, and I'm very happy that Councilor Yon just explained that everything that pertained to the last council also pertains to the new council. Any raises, increase, or decrease cannot be done in that same term. So I'm glad you said that. Take that a step further. Essentially, in the order that I got some, I guess I could say, factual legal advices, the repeal could have been where no one gets anything. The repeal would be the mayor would get actually nothing. The councilors up here would actually go to nothing. So they're rewritten correctly. Imagine that, go to nothing. But the interpretation of the law can be that situation. So I want to thank Councilor McGee for rewriting and really doing her homework on this, because a lot of the information that's in there is exactly that was constituted on the conflict of interest / ethics from the state level. So I want to thank my colleagues for the rewriting and the co-sponsorship of it. But that explains it.
Now, the proposals would repeal the mayoral raise that's set to take effect in 2028 and the councilors' raises that took effect this year. McKee says there needs to be more public process to determine the salary increases for elected officials. The Ordinance Committee will meet on February 23rd at 6:30 at City Hall. Also on the City Council agenda this week, a proposal to create some formal rules for allowing public comment at City Council meetings. This past week, 9 people got up and spoke during a public comment period at the beginning of the meeting. Council President Ann Mahoney says that she wants to create a formal process that will govern public comments at future meetings.
So it's basically saying, we'd like to have an open forum right after the moments of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll start right at the beginning of the meeting. There'll be a residents' open forum and public comment piece. We'll start with 20 minutes and 3 minutes per person. I think some meetings we might have to suspend the rules and let people speak longer if it's a hot topic. But 20 minutes should be it's usually about enough time. And if we only have 2 people speaking, then we call out, last chance to talk, and we move on to the next part of our meeting. So it's not something that we have to have. You can't stop. We're not going to have a meeting go for 20 minutes, nobody talk. We're going to open it, and then we'll close it if there's nobody there.
Okay.
And we'll give people the opportunity in the city to come up and talk to us. And I think it's valuable information. Whether it could be viewed as negative, but a negative comment is just as good as a positive comment, because we can adapt what we're doing to meet the needs of the community.
Speakers at this week's meeting thanked the council for allowing public comment. They also brought up issues including snow removal concerns, the city's debt level, the Quarry Hills lease extension proposal, and the pay raises for the mayor and city councilors. Well, the snow removal efforts continue in Quincy after the city received over 2 feet of snow almost 2 weeks ago now. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says every effort is being made to clear snow away from the busiest areas of the city.
The issue is always, okay, what about the commerce areas near the T-stations, bus stops, around the schools? So we've been chipping away. We've had a nighttime operation going on for several days. We have an enormous mountain of snow down at the shipyard. Dan Quirk has so graciously provided some space for us to do just this. We have dozers and loaders pushing it up and pushing it higher and higher, so to try to save some space. But we've been chipping away at it. The first priority, of course, is schools. When we first following the snowfall and the plowing, we hit all around the school areas, the bus stop areas, the drop-off areas, to try to make it as safe as possible. And then, of course, from there we branch out into other areas that may be school-related, and then, of course, T-related, and then commerce areas, some of the business districts, the corners where the crosswalks are, and we get, people that call in. We work with the councils, people that call in, and we chip away at other areas. We did around the funeral homes, for example. We need to help people when they're going through such a difficult time. So, Al Grazios, the commissioner, and Superintendent Prendeville and the gang, they do a hell of a job, and it's going to be it certainly is an expensive storm, and we're just trying to make it as safe as we can for people.
Mayor says the storm will cost the city over $1 million, which puts the snow removal budget into a deficit. He says state law does allow communities to run deficits for snow removal, and says he'll be looking at several funding sources to make up the difference before he looks to the tax base. The first structural steel for the new Squantum Elementary School in Quincy will be going up later this month. The contractor says that a mobile crane will be at the site on February 17th to begin putting up the steel frame for the new school at the site of the current school. Concrete forms are being poured 2 to 3 times per week, weather permitting, and soil removal also continues from that site, resulting in some increased truck traffic. Recently, the project increased to 10 and 11-hour work days, and work also takes place on Saturdays in order to keep the project on schedule. Students are currently taking classes in portable classrooms at the work site. The new Squantum School is scheduled for completion in the fall of next year. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we get an update from the Quincy Animal Shelter. That's next. Welcome back. If you have not been to the new Quincy Animal Care Center yet up off Corey Street, you really should, because it's been open now and it is available for you to tour and to check out the four-legged residents are in shelter, so President Sandra Sines and Emily Duff is with us too, along with Gizmo, to give us a little animal shelter update. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Good morning. Thank you.
Good to see you all, including our little Patriots fan here.
He's very excited about the big game.
How are things going, Sandra?
Going great.
Yeah?
Yeah, we just, it's 2026 and
Yeah.
we're finally getting comfortable in our new digs and things are going really well.
That's good. That's good. For folks who don't know, you're up off Quarry Street, right?
Right.
And you need to travel up the hill. First building on the right.
Yes, yeah, there is a sign at the bottom of the
Yes.
hill that says Quincy Dog Park.
Okay.
And that's the road that you have to go up, and we're the only building on the right.
Okay. So how has it been going? You're open every day now, right?
We're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday,
Yeah.
11 to 4. We are open Friday, but by appointment only.
Okay.
And then we're open Saturday from 11 to 4.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So have you seen the expanded hours help with your adoptions?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of good foot traffic during the week. People want to come in for tours. A lot of people come in and make donations. You know, they bring food to us or supplies and things like that, which has been great. And yeah, a lot of people are very interested in adopting. So
Yes.
our adoptions were very strong last year.
Good.
So we're happy about that.
That's great. That's very good. Yeah. You mentioned donations. So is the pet food bank still available?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's actually booming. We took it over recently, so it's now under the shelter.
Okay.
And we get many calls of people needing assistance. So it's awesome because the community has been donating food for the food bank, and
Great.
then we in turn give it to people in need.
Okay. So it works both ways. You can
Yes.
bring food to donate, or you
Yep.
can go and pick up a
Yes,
donation.
yeah, as long as it's not expired or opened.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Is
Yeah.
there anything glaring that you need right now in the pet food bank?
Always need cat food.
Okay.
We do pretty good on the dog food, but the
Okay.
cat food goes really quickly,
Okay.
so that's a big help.
Okay. And the canned food, obviously, if
Yeah.
it's not expired, you can last
Yes.
for quite a while. So.
Yes.
Okay. Good. And do you need to make an appointment to pick up a donation?
People have been calling,
Yeah.
and so if they call the shelter, I'll give them a call back and I'll find out exactly what they need, and we try to match their needs based on what we have in stock.
Okay. Sure.
So yeah.
You've brought a resident with
Yes.
you. Yes. Tell me about Gizmo.
This is Gizmo.
Yeah.
He is about 5 years old.
Okay.
He is 100% adorable.
Yes, he is.
And he absolutely loves people. He's a little bit on the needy side, as most small creatures are.
Hey, bud.
And he's just a really good boy.
You're a good boy.
We do have an awful lot of interest in him, so he will also fly off the shelf.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But
Like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
yeah,
Okay. I see he's got his Patriot swag on,
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
rooting for the home team.
Yeah.
What's his story? How long has he been with you?
we've only had him about a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just about a week. He was he had to be surrendered by
Okay.
his owner.
Yep.
He's a very
He's-
good boy.
He's a very good boy. He didn't have a lot of exposure to
Anything.
outdoors, so he's not potty trained. He's
Oh.
pee pad trained,
Okay.
which is manageable,
Yep.
for a dog that size. And, certainly he probably could be trained
Sure.
to go outside with some determination and dedication, but he's very good with the pee pads.
And what kind of dog is he?
I don't.
Pika.
It's probably a
Pekingese?
Pekingese or a
Yes.
Peekapoo or something like that.
Okay.
You never know these
Yeah,
days. There's
we
so
don't
many. But he's definitely a lap dog.
Yeah.
Seems to be very comfortable, Emily,
Yeah,
with you.
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah.
I think someone
he does
would be
not
lucky
like
to
be
have
alone.
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he likes to
wants to be
snuggle.
with someone.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Good to know. And it looks
Yeah.
like he's just had his hair cut, so he's
Yep.
sporting a very nice do there. Yeah.
Get ready for the big game
Yeah.
with his hairdo.
What's, I guess, the current population at the shelter? What have you got available?
Sorry.
What have you have available for
Oh,
animals?
well,
Yeah.
I mean, we have some cats.
Okay.
We definitely have a nice variety of cats. I will give a plug to our older cat population. Right now we do have probably about a half a dozen older cats that are really in need of homes.
Okay.
And, they're all great cats. Some of them may have some minor health issues, but we really love to see, people look at some of our senior residents and, give them a chance too. Cats can live well into their teens,
Oh,
so
sure,
even
yeah.
if we have a cat that's 8 or 9 years old, that's midlife.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily too old to be adopted. A lot of people do, want kittens and younger cats, but the older cats deserve a chance too.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
It's the same with dogs too, right?
Yeah.
Puppies fly off the shelf, but older dogs
Exactly.
stay a little longer.
And
yeah.
we don't have a lot of dogs right now.
Okay.
So, but we do have a good variety of cats.
I guess it's, with this so cold weather that's coming in, we should talk a little bit about keeping your pets safe in the cold weather, right, Emily?
Yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
that's a good thing to note.
Sure.
We've actually been giving away coats at the shelter.
Is that right?
We've been posting for people to come in because we had a surplus. Someone brought us a bunch and we got donations. And so they're new. So we might have a few left. We did also have some leashes and harnesses if people need them. But
Okay. Yeah.
we just want people to be encouraged to remember that you know, even though they're dogs, it's been very cold.
gosh,
so
yes, yeah.
a coat does help if you're going to go for a walk. And what I would suggest is remembering their feet. The salt can do some damage, so just remember to wipe your dog's feet off when you get home from that walk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they can't stay out very long in this weather, right?
I mean, when it's like negative, the same as us.
Right.
We don't
Right.
want to be out there. They don't want to be out
Sure.
there. You know,
Right.
it's just don't leave your dog outside at all.
Yeah.
Like take them out, go for a walk, or go to the bathroom, and bring them back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cats too.
And
Yes,
cats
cats
too.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Try to keep the cats in
Yes.
as much as
At
possible.
least some shelter for them,
Yes.
right? If they're
Yeah.
if they're outdoor cats.
Yeah,
feral
exactly.
cats. Sandra, a bit of sad news. We have to talk about the passing of one of your longtime volunteers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very sadly, we lost one of our most dedicated and wonderful volunteers last week to cancer. Joanne McCarthy. She was volunteer for 25 years, a dear friend to both Emily and I, and many, many other people. She was a cat volunteer, dog lover. We worked on many, many fundraising events together over the years, but she was just a wonderful human being, funny
Very
person, and we miss her terribly.
Certainly,
so tomorrow we will be closed
Okay.
in honor of her to celebrate her life, and so.
Yeah.
Yes,
missed.
so the visiting hours are tomorrow from noon to 2 at the Cohane Funeral Home here in Quincy, and donations in her memory, obviously.
Yes.
She'd like it to be to
Yes.
the Quincy Animal Shelter,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you.
Certainly. And condolences to her family as well. You have an incredibly dedicated staff of volunteers that make the shelter run, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're up around 150 volunteers right now. We added to our original ranks when we moved to Quarry Street because we realized that, number one, we can house more animals, but it's also such a big space that it has caused some tasks that were easy at Broad Street and East Squantum Street
Yeah.
to take a little more time.
Well,
more
Broad Street, you
cleaning.
can see the end of the building from
Exactly.
one end to the other. Yeah.
Right. So we're up around 150.
Okay.
Yeah.
But always room for more?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep
Yeah.
us running.
I am sure, yes. Some events coming up. Let's start with Valentine's Day. It's just a week from tomorrow. Well, yikes.
I know. Sneaking up on us.
Yeah. See, 11 to 4, Emily, what will be happening?
We're just having a little. We're having our normal Saturday hours,
Okay.
which it's a popular day for
Yep.
people to come visit. So we're going to just do a little celebrating of Valentine's Day that day.
Okay.
Because it is Valentine's Day. We have a kissing booth, so we're going to bring some of our alumni dogs who are very friendly that are going to house in the kissing booth for the day.
Okay.
And so you can come get your picture taken with them. We could try a cat, but I'm not sure how that'll go. And we're going to have some treats for dogs and humans. So we hope people, that anyone who hasn't come see the shelter, it's a good time to come. It'll be a fun little Valentine's Day.
Okay, fun. All right,
Yeah.
that's 11 to 4. Stop by and see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're bringing back popular classical guitarist, right, Dave McClellan?
Yes, Dave
Yeah.
McClellan has been great to work with. He's a good friend of one of our volunteers, who's another classical guitar player.
I see.
And they did this show. He did this show for us last year at the Quincy Historical Society, playing classical music. It was beautiful. It was really well attended too. It was our first time doing it, and we were just thrilled that the audience had a good time. And this year, his focus is going to be on women composers.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be, it's not too soon, but it's going to be March 28th, so you'll see us advertising up until then.
Yep.
It'll be again at the Historical Society at 3 o'clock.
Which is a beautiful setting, actually,
It
to
is.
see live music.
I mean,
yeah.
if you haven't visited that space, it's a big part of Quincy. Like,
Well
you
worth
should
it.
really go see it. yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And all the proceeds benefit the
Yes,
shelter.
yeah, which
is
we're lucky. He's very generous with
Nice.
that.
Super.
Yeah, so we're very happy to do that again.
And the Pooch playoffs are coming back.
Yes, the Pooch Playoffs. It's our third year doing this with Wendy Adams. She's our local Quincy photographer
Yeah.
here. I know you've
Yes.
met Wendy. And she's been great. She put this together for the last, this is the 3rd year.
Oh, okay.
And so what it is it's a March Madness style bracket competition for dogs. So 16 dogs enter. We did actually have a cat last year. Sandra's cat made
I see
it.
a sneaky cat in there.
Yeah. So I don't think we're saying that no to the, but it's primarily a dog thing, but I think if you talk to Wendy, we can see.
Okay. How did you get your cat to stand for that photo is the question.
That's probably most of the reason why it's dogs.
Yeah, it's like herding cats, right? Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay.
But so it's your dog, if you sign up, it's a $150 entry fee, which pays for like the photo session.
Yeah.
And Wendy's giving that entirely to the shelter.
Excellent.
Yeah. So she's so generous with this because she puts in a lot of time and energy. She'll do those. There's 16 dogs that enter into the bracket, and she takes those pictures here in Quincy on a date set up with the owner.
Okay.
And every dog gets a prize and a swag bag, and then a chance to win first, second, or third place.
Neat.
And it's all voted online.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we'll be advertising that, and you can vote every day, and that'll be announced. The winner will be announced at the end of March.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So this is going on right now, Emily?
So, like in February, we do the recruiting, trying to get the 16 contestants and get the
Gotcha.
photo shoots going.
Okay.
And then the voting is all through March.
I vote for Gizmo.
I know. Gizmo should enter. I think you do pretty well.
I think he'd run away with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're good looking.
So on the shelter website, is there?
So what I would like to do is direct you to Wendy Adams' website. Which,
Oh, okay.
And if I say that now, it'll be hard to remember. So I will have that posted on our
On your
our
website.
website and our Facebook page.
Okay.
We'll have links to it. She has all the information where you can sign up on her website.
Okay, excellent. Very
And that's
good.
Wendy Adams Photography.
Okay. And is there a deadline? Do you know, Emily?
We usually do. I believe it's the first couple. Oh, I got to check all
All
this,
right,
but
all right.
we want to get as many contestants entered by the end of February.
End of February,
So
okay.
that voting is all set to go.
So it's- I mean, here we are.
So it's, if it just
Okay.
now's the time to sign up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and the dogs, the owners always have a good time. The dogs have fun. The photo sessions are fun.
Can you have repeat competitors from the
I don't
past
see
couple
why
of years?
not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be great.
What happens if Sandra's cat wins?
Becomes a star.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's fun.
Yeah,
And then,
it's a good time.
Sandra, I know you're planning something for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year, unfortunately, we were not able to have our St. Patrick's Day celebration
Right.
because we were in the midst of moving, but we're bringing it back.
Okay.
So it's, luck of the Irish,
Yeah.
shamrocks and all of that.
Okay.
And we've done it for several years. So it's a chance to come visit the shelter, see the animals, have some green punch and cookies, and we'll have all of our QAS wear and our expanded line of QAS merchandise for people to purchase. So just a fun day to hang out with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, in terms of staff at the shelter, are you all set? Do you need positions filled?
No, we're all full.
You're full.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are full.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
In terms of surrendering, like Gizmo was
Yeah.
surrendered, how does that happen? What's the process to do that?
Well, the best thing for someone to do is call. We always want to talk to you about exactly what's going on with your
Yes.
animal, cat or dog. And I think it's important to note that our focus is, when possible, to try to help you to keep your animal.
Okay.
So we will offer, whether it's training advice, we'll try to make connections with trainers. If it's a financial situation, we may be able to help with the food pantry, or if you're a Quincy resident, we may be able to assist you with some vet care.
Oh.
Or even housing. There's a lot of resources out there
Yeah.
for people who might be in a situation where they have to give up a pet that they really don't want to give up.
I see.
But if that's not the case, and say you're already beyond that point and you know that you have to give your pet up, we definitely want to talk to you first. We want to make sure that your animal is going to be a good situation for the animal to be at a shelter. And I say that because, we've had some, people want to surrender like an 18-year-old cat. That may not be the best thing for the cat. We're going to try to work with you to maybe come up with a different solution. But if it's an animal that's going to do well in our program, we'll set up an appointment. We'll try to get as much information from you as possible. And very important to be honest and truthful about what's going on, so that we can figure out what the animal needs and what the next best home is going to be for them.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
so, you know, and it's sad. There's no judgment. I mean,
I was just
think
going to say, it's a
really,
no
really
judgment
important.
zone, yeah.
You know, I had to surrender a pet many, many years ago.
Sure.
It happens.
It happens,
and
yeah.
It's tough, but we're not going to judge you.
You're sure?
You know?
Yeah, it's all about the animal,
Yeah.
right? Is to focus on the animal,
Yeah.
to find out the best situation for them.
Yeah.
That way, everybody feels good about it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good to know. I
Right.
think it's important to
Yeah.
point that out as well. In terms of adopting, how does that happen? What's the process?
Well, so we invite people to come to the shelter
Yes.
and spend some time with the animals. We have a very qualified team of volunteers on our adoption team. We want you to come in, talk to them. They're going to ask you some questions about what you're looking for, what your expectations are. It's really a matchmaking process.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people will come in, we'll ask them, what are you looking for today? And they'll be like, I want a dog.
Right.
And then we start asking you questions. Well, what kind of dog do you want? You know, how often are you home? And then they end up leaving with a cat.
Right.
And that's okay.
Well, because cats are easy because they pick
Right.
their owners.
Right, because sometimes, you know, people will come in with one expectation and, you know, they want a dog like Gizmo.
Right.
And then we tell them, well, Gizmo needs attention. He demands attention.
Yeah.
And they might work. They might, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
work 8 or 9 hours a day. And so maybe
You need to
there's
find
a different kind of
the
dog that
best
might be
fit.
better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely a process, and I think that we are really reasonable, you know, in our process. You know, it's not an FBI investigation.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
but we do have to ask you some questions.
course, yeah, yeah.
To figure out what's best.
Always great to catch up with the
Yeah.
animal shelter and Gizmo. Maybe we'll bring the Patriots good luck on Sunday.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Forecast for the rest of the day. Today, it's kind of what you see is what you get. Some flurries around, cloudy, around 30 degrees. We've got our snow moving in late tonight, all day tomorrow, a couple, 3, maybe 4 inches by tomorrow night. And then a bitter blast of Arctic air blows in here on Sunday, and it stays around till at least Monday as well. Thanks again to Sandra Sines, Emily Duff for joining us. Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching Monday here on the show. Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources stopping by, all about this year's Lunar New Year Festival. Meantime, check our website, qatv.org, all of our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.